beautiful Court Square, the heart of Graham, nestled in the rolling hills of the county of Alamance, in the Old North State of North Carolina. This was one of the original 13 colonies that formed the United States of America. But long before this, travel back through time, 250 years to 1763, about 1 mile north to the old trading and stagecoach path. At this elevated site, with a spring for continuous water, settlers chose to stop and build an old meeting house. This was the original heart of activity in this area. This log structure with a sun-baked brick floor was a place where people gathered not only to worship, but also to communicate, share news, transact business, discuss decisions like breaking away from Great Britain and forming a new country. Out of meeting houses like Providence, determination and fortitude was strengthened in this area, resulting in conflicts like the Battle of Alamance. Many of the people who frequented Providence became instrumental in these efforts. Providence was the place for that time of discussions and decisions. Enjoy these celebrations as you discover that this site called Providence has been a place for all times.
In 1750, from the colony of New Jersey. Being an educator by trade, I decided to move to the back country to see if I would find there people that were open to education. What I found were hard-working people that wanted their children to be able to advance, and they accepted me with open arms. Quite often this meant that I would stay in the homes of the parents. They had to provide a quiet place where at least once a week I could take a bath whether I needed it or not.
First of all, I'd like to thank you for inviting me, and certainly to commend Reverend Peebles and the congregation here for the celebration of local history and the celebration also of the 250th anniversary of Providence. In the 18th century, however, the structure was referred to as a meeting or a meeting house. It functioned both as a place of worship and as a place of social discourse. Meeting houses served as courts, they served as oratoria, they were gathering places and polling places, and places where you even went to pay your taxes, as well as places where you worshiped. Also, the meeting houses were located in accessible areas. They were located oftentimes along cartways or heavily trafficked pathways. And in this particular area, the majority of the meetings were often found in the vicinity of the so-called Great Wagon Road. And that was certainly the case with Providence. The Wagon Road went just very close by here, almost along where the present-day railroad track is located today. And it was at these meetings that people worshiped, and it was at these meetings that community building began here in the local area. And as Reverend Peebles has pointed out, this was perhaps one of the more significant of those meetings, because all you have to do is look at the back of your program, and Reverend Peebles has already referred to this, as the number of things that took place in this very important site. So we welcome you here today, and we appreciate everyone being here for this beginning celebration as we look to 250 years of worship and nation building at this particular site.
Makji, Mahone, Makji Tamoy, Yak Pibidi, Makji Tamoy, Yak Spiriti, Mahoa, Hokaino, Tong, Tai, 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 Giwe Me, Tai, Ankaya, Yamudi, Yumachase. Translated in English, it says, Grandfather, our hearts are good. Our minds are fine. Spirit of the old ones, give us strength. Give me strength to stand tall, sing and dance in your honor. Oh.
Jane McKeever, her great-grandfather was pastor here when Elon started, and he became the organizing president. And then his son was Dr. Will Long, who was the dentist and fire chief here at Graham. And then his daughter, Elizabeth, is a great artist here, teacher of art. And then Jane came along. And she is now working with young people here and plays the organ and piano. And so the past has not left us yet. The generations continue to come, and God blesses us that way.
that's where they dominated the trading path before European contact. As the Europeans came in, visited from Jamestown, came out of Fort Henry, which is now Petersburg, Virginia. They came in from Albany, New York to Petersburg, Fort Henry. They traded with the Occaneechi on Occaneechi Island and became one of the most important trading posts at that time in the area.
Come, let us join with one accord, hymns around the throne. This is the day our rising Lord hath made, all his own. This is the day that God hath blessed, the brightest of the seven, type of that everlasting rest the saints enjoyed in heaven. Then let us end his name, sing on, hasten to that day, when our Redeemer shall come down, and shadows pass away.
Well, thank you, and it's such a privilege to be here with you all and to come to such a historic part of what was Orange County. 1752, it was encompassing many different counties that we look at today. We go, really? Was it this large? Orange County included Caswell, Person, Alamance, Orange, Durham, Chatham, Lake, and parts of Rudolph, Guilford, and Rockingham. Now that's huge, and that's because in the early part of the 1700s, most of the colonization was on the coast. And then in the middle of the 1700s, you see an explosion of people coming into North Carolina, and they formed new counties. And in time, Orange County, as you can tell from how many counties I just named, was the largest county and had the most population in the state at that time. So I am so appreciative of this congregation because it was congregations like this in Orange County that were the places where the voices of conscience were raised by independent pastors and independent congregations that said, wait a minute, we don't like what's happening. It led to the regulator movement. It led to what happens in 1771 when you have the Battle of Alamance County. So it's a great history, and I'm just delighted to be here because of this congregation, its history, connection going back to the early founding of this country cannot be underestimated.
Oh, yeah.
about them, but I dreamed it'd be this way one day. I did. And here I lived in 2013. I can't tell you how old I am now.
It only takes a spark to get a fire going, and soon all those around can warm up in its glory. That's how it is with God's love. Once you've experienced it, you spread His love to everyone you want to pass it on. That's how it is with God's love. I want my world to know the Lord of love has come to me. I want to pass it on.
It is indeed a pleasure to welcome each and every one of you here on the behalf of Alamance County. And as you know, this church is celebrating 250 years of history. And today they are celebrating the history at Providence Church for the history of Alamance County and its beginning. And we're glad you're here. Thank you very much.
One of the duties that I was involved in was recreating the creation of Alamance County. We staged the recreation here in this sanctuary, and it was quite exciting. It was Alamance County Day, and I found out that on April the 24th, 1849, William A. Graham, who was later governor of North Carolina, proclaimed it Alamance County Day right here in this building. Governor Graham said when he signed the charter, "I charter you Alamance County, named in honor of the Battle of Alamance, fought in 1771. I could not think of a more fitting way to preserve the honor of those brave ones than this." And I personally am proud to call Alamance County home because of the price that was paid by so many to form this county, because of the rich history and legacy that we have here. I'm also proud of Providence Church for surviving the test of time and being here so we can all feel the past and the important history that brought us here.
Anybody who's done a little bit of historical research will certainly run across the name, the Alamance Gleaner. It was, as best we can tell, the first newspaper serving the area. One of the difficulties we have in a lot of research is that there wasn't a newspaper here when the county was formed, so a lot of the research for a lot of what Hope was just describing, you have to derive from other newspapers, primarily in Hillsborough. The Gleaner began in 1875. I want to read you just a little section from the very first edition, just to let you have a flavor of how the county was viewed at the time. In our county, we have no town of considerable size. Company shops, so called from the location of the shops of the old North Carolina Railroad Company, being the largest. And even this has not, so far, applied for a charter. Graham, you'll be pleased to know, is regularly laid out and beautifully located, with some of the handsomest residences of any village of its size in the state. It is pleasant and healthful. Mevinsville, near the Orange County line, is a pleasant village. Here are several stores. Near this place is located the Bingham School. These, we believe, are all the incorporated towns in the county.
So the Arts Council was born about 57 years ago, and our first facility was actually in Burlington. We moved to the old firehouse in Graham, and it was called the Firehouse Galleries. And the Arts Council did many projects, same types of projects that we do today. And one of the biggest projects that we don't do, but they did back then, of course, was Arts Around the Square. And we continued to do that for 25 years. Then 20 years ago, the Arts Council and Miss Ryan again found a house here in Graham that was going to be torn down. So the Arts Council came forward and said that we would create a space for the citizens of Alamance County for the arts, and we would recreate a new space out of the house. We recreated or created the new Captain James and Emma Holt White House where we are today.
I'm Master Don Tilley. I own the Mevin Lee Brothers and the Hillsborough Lee Brothers. This is Master, where are you going? This is Master Tasty. He's my husband. So he's at Mevin with me. Grandmaster Lee, he is in the Burlington location. He's the one that brought these Lee Brothers to this area. And Lee Brothers has been in Alamance County since